In August of 1590, John White returned to the coast of what is now North Carolina. 3 years earlier, he had left more than 100 colonists on Roanoke Island. His daughter was there, his granddaughter was there, and when he left, he expected to return with supplies. But when White finally came back, the colony was gone. The homes had been taken down. The settlement was empty. No bodies, no battlefield, no rescue waiting on the shore. Only a message. 3 letters carved into a tree. C-R-O. And farther inside the abandoned settlement, one complete word carved into a post. Croatoan. For more than 400 years, that word became one of the most famous clues in American history. But it may not have been a warning. It may not have been a curse. It may have been a direction. Roanoke was one of England's earliest attempts to build a lasting colony in North America. In 1587, a new group of colonists arrived under Governor John White. This was not only a military outpost. This time, there were families, women, children. And soon after they arrived, White's daughter, Eleanor Dare, gave birth to Virginia Dare. She became the first English child born in England's American colonies. But the colony was fragile from the beginning. The settlers were far from England. Their supplies were limited. Relations with nearby indigenous communities had already been damaged by earlier English expeditions, and the colonists had arrived too late in the season to easily support themselves. So they asked John White to return to England for supplies. He was supposed to come back soon, but history moved against him. England was at war with Spain. The Spanish Armada threatened invasion. Ships were pulled into military service, and White's return was delayed again and again. The people on Roanoke waited. Then winter came. Then another year. Then another. When White finally crossed the Atlantic again, he was no longer returning to a fresh colony. He was returning to a question. On August 18, 1590, White went ashore. It was Virginia Dare's 3rd birthday, but there was no celebration waiting for him. The search party found signs that the settlement had been dismantled. The houses were gone, the people were gone, and the fort-like enclosure stood empty. Before White left, he and the colonists had made a plan. If they moved, they were supposed to carve a message showing where they had gone. If they were forced to leave in danger, they were supposed to add a cross. White found no cross, no warning mark, no clear sign that the colonists had been forced away. The carved word pointed somewhere else. It referred to a people and to a place. That place is now associated with Hatteras Island, south of Roanoke. The people connected to that island had known the English before. One of them, Manteo, had traveled to England and had been friendly toward the colony. So when White saw the carved word, he believed he had found a direction. The colonists, or at least some of them, may have moved south, but White never confirmed it. Bad weather made further searching dangerous. The ship was forced away. White left the coast, and he never saw his daughter, his granddaughter, or the colony again. That is where the legend begins. For centuries, people asked the same question. What happened to the lost colony? Some theories are grim: starvation, disease, storms, massacre, Spanish attack, but the evidence at Roanoke did not clearly show a slaughter. There were no bodies waiting for White, no battlefield, no distress cross. That leaves another possibility. Maybe the colony did not simply die. Maybe it moved. One theory points inland. Researchers have looked toward inland North Carolina, where some English artifacts have been found. Those finds matter, but they are not final proof. Artifacts can move through trade. Objects can travel farther than people. And no confirmed graveyard, document, or settlement has definitively closed the case. Another theory points south, toward Hatteras Island. Recent discoveries have made the story more complicated. The First Colony Foundation has reported 16th century Algonquian pottery and a copper ring of European origin. That may suggest contact between indigenous communities and the English, but contact is not the same as proof. A copper ring can be traded. Pottery can show where people lived, but neither one can name the colonist who disappeared from Roanoke. More recent reporting has focused on Hatteras Island and traces of English-style metalworking. Some researchers argue that tiny flakes of iron, known as hammerscale, may point to English-style metalworking there. If that interpretation is correct, it may support the idea that some colonists survived by moving south and joining a native community. But support is not proof. The strongest modern possibility may be that the colony split. Some may have moved inland. Some may have gone south. Some may have died from hunger, illness, conflict, or exposure. Others may have survived by joining indigenous communities. That would explain why there was no battlefield, why there were no bodies waiting for white, why the houses appeared to have been taken down, and why the colonists left a word behind. Not a supernatural message, not a final scream from a doomed settlement. Maybe just the place they intended to go. The darker truth is that the mystery survived because John White never reached them. He came back across the ocean. He found the clue. He understood what it might mean. But weather, chance, and the Atlantic took the answer away from him. Somewhere beyond the carved post may have been his daughter, his granddaughter, and the survivors of England's failed colony. But no final record has ever been found. No confirmed list of survivors. No graves that close the case. No document saying exactly who lived, who died, and who became part of another people's world. So the lost colony remains suspended between history and absence. Not because there were no clues, but because the clues stopped just short of certainty. Roanoke did not disappear into nothing. It left a settlement taken apart. It left a grandfather searching for his family. It left a child remembered more as a symbol than as a person. And it left one word carved into wood. After more than 4 centuries, that word still stands at the edge of the archive, not as a solution, but as the last known direction of the lost. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe. And tell me in the comments if you want more unresolved history from the archive. The archive has more stories waiting.